We're live soon. Now I gotta find you. There we go.
For the live public.
Okay, so it says we're live now. I'm just gonna keep these glasses on, people. I know you can see the reflection, but that's just the way it's going to be.
It's actually, no, it's good.
Okay.
Yes.
So we're on live. I think your people can see you now.
Yay. Okay. Awesome.
So welcome everyone to my series of phenomenal women who pivot. It's entitled Second Acts, and my second guest, I am going to just give you my overview of her and then I'll introduce her. So I met this lady through my sister-in-law about 6 years ago, and I have suspicion that we've been in a 6 degrees of separation bubble for probably our entire lifetime. But I actually got a chance to really just sit back and watch her. You guys know that I am a people person and a people watcher first. And I've been watching her for about 5 years. And so when I met her, she was a counselor at a local high school. And she was beating the brakes off of 20-year-olds in bodybuilding competitions. And I'm like, what are you doing? She was like, yes, they're about 20. I'm 40 something. I'm like, really? And she was just giving them a run for their money. And I just love to watch and see that. And then I watched her, what looked like a perfect life. She packed up her beautiful home and moved south. And I'm like, why is she doing that? Why would they do such a thing? But I didn't know her that well, so I didn't ask questions. I just sat back and I watched. And she got her degree, her graduate degree from Rowan University after she moved. And I watched her build and grow her health and wellness and lifestyle coaching brand. So I've been following her with her recipes on her blog for all of the stuff that, I have greedy people problems that I zoom in on the food, but I never make. And so we're probably going to make some changes on that. But I want to introduce you to a lady that I find very interesting. And I know she's phenomenal. And I've had a chance to join in on her Thursday Namaste meditation class, which we'll talk about. And without further ado, I want to introduce you to Mrs. Tanya F. Cain. Welcome to the podcast and stream.
Thank you. What an introduction. Wow. I didn't realize I was doing so much. Thank you so much. It's wonderful to be here. I'm excited to be here. And I'm also happy for you and doing your podcast. That's wonderful. That's what it's all about.
I'm so glad you could join me. So let's get started with a question that I have for you. Define wellness, and how do you use that definition in your business?
Okay, so wellness isn't something that we chase. Wellness is a lifestyle. Wellness is how we think, how we live, how we eat, how we interact with others, how we deal with conflict. Wellness is a whole 360 approach to our lifestyle. And it is just a lifestyle. It's ongoing. So it's a journey. It is not a fad. It's a journey. It's a journey to an overall happy, healthy well-being.
So tell me about how you coach people to begin that journey. How would one begin that journey?
It comes with a sense of awareness of where you are, how you feel, and just knowing that there's a better place for you. For some people, it's their career. For some people, it's a relationship, and not necessarily a significant other. It can be a relationship with a parent, a family member, a team. It can also be career related. So wellness has no boundaries. And so I start where the client wants to begin. So I don't define what wellness is for you. I don't coach you in any particular direction. You come to me and you tell me what area of your life that you want to improve, and we set goals based on what it is you want to do. So my clients set the agenda for themselves. I don't set the agenda for them. I coach, I counsel, I ask the powerful questions to help them navigate their way and find their solutions. So in coaching, we don't solve problems. We support our clients to help them solve their problems and find new ways, new solutions to resolve issues and to just move into a better place.
So that lets me know that you're an awesome coach. You sound like my mentor. That's what she teaches.
Yeah, thank you.
It is asking the powerful questions. And so I have some more questions for you. Let's talk about Namaste Thursdays.
Yes. So Namaste Thursday, there's a group that I host, and it's every Thursday from 7:30 to 8:15. And the group evolved out of me seeing so many people dealing with COVID, stuck home, trying to juggle work and their children being home and financial pieces and job loss, and just understanding that people are filled with anxiety, some people are depressed, some people are overwhelmed. There's just a lot of negative emotions, feelings, and thoughts. And literally one Saturday afternoon, I was sitting home and I thought, you know what, Tanya? Meditation works for me. Meditation has unbelievable results. And I thought, if not for anything, let me give it a shot. And so I did. I said right then and there, I came up with a name, not sure that anyone was going to show up. And they did. And so we had our first session. And at the end of the session, I thanked everyone. And they said, when is the next one? It's like, okay, wow, I didn't realize that. So what we do is we breathe. We come together. I teach students how to breathe. And the one thing about meditation is there's this misconception that it's spiritual. So you don't have to pray. You don't have to go to church. It has nothing to do with that. It's about clearing the mind, clearing the thoughts, settling your mind down, breathing, getting that oxygen in, and daily practice, and it's called a practice, daily practice will help you outside of that meditation space. So that is what we do every single Thursday.
So I'm doing it now. I was breathing in as you were speaking and letting it out. So you invited me and I kept missing it because everybody knows that I have to watch Jeopardy. And so after Jeopardy, I kept forgetting.
Okay.
And so I finally did join. I closed the door, turned off the lights, and you were leading us into meditation because I'm in a 21-day group with a friend. And so we were meditating with Deepak Chopra and he's telling you what to do, but my mind was wandering all over the place. So I was like, okay, Thursday I'm going to join and I'm going to learn some new practices so that I can bring my mind back and actually start learning, because I realize it's a learning process. You're not going to get it right away. But my husband opened up the door and he's looking, he's like, oh my gosh, she's asleep. But later on, but I really fell asleep and I felt so bad because I fell asleep. And then I realized there were other people in the class that had fallen asleep too under your voice. And you did the, it wasn't bells, there were cups.
We did the crystal singing bowls.
Yes, the singing bowls.
Yes. I love those. I absolutely love those, and can't wait to start that practice as well. So how did you like the bowls compared to, there's your traditional music, right? There's your traditional piano and water flowing. But the crystal bowls are a little bit different.
They were interesting. And like I said, I don't know if it was just your voice or the bowls or the combination or both, but I was like, oh no, I fell asleep. But I was really relaxed.
Excellent.
And because at first you were like, relax your fingers and relax. I'm like, how can I even think about it? I thought I was already relaxed,
Yeah.
but it actually does work. And so I think you should just
Yeah.
continue to do it.
Oh, thank you.
And
It does, and it does work. I mean, and just for anybody who's watching, you don't have to have a special place. You can do it in your car. 10 minutes, go lock yourself in the stairwell at your job, like wherever. Put your headphones on, close your eyes in a park, wherever. It doesn't have to be a special place, but it will change your life. It's settling. If you are upset about something, it will lower your heart rate, and it will put you in a better space. So I can't say enough about it. And thank you for coming.
I'm coming
We're
again.
on schedule for next week, for this Thursday.
Okay, Thursday at 7:30.
Thursday at 7:30.
I'm gonna have to start setting my alarm because it really is good. And again, when you're just trying to meditate alone and you don't know what to do, it was a really good way to start because you actually set up you set up before we begin. You set the mindset and then you actually walk us through the entire thing. And and it's live. So I hadn't experienced that before. So I was trying to figure out, how do I settle my mind? And they say, bring your mind back when it goes off. But while you're speaking, it gives us an extra value. So 7:00 Thursdays.
7:00, 7:30 every Thursday.
7:30 on Thursdays until 8:15.
Yes.
So what's next for Tanya?
Oh my goodness, so much. I'm so excited. So we're talking about the singing crystal bowls. They're amazing. And for anyone who has never heard them, you can just go on YouTube and they're very calming, they're soothing. You can play them for your pets, your babies. If you're, the house is a sense of, chaos, there's a lot going on, where you can play those and it totally settles folks down. So I'm working on getting my own set and to start practicing because I want to incorporate that in my yoga. In my meditation.
Okay.
So hands down, there's that. Look for a e-course, a vegan e-course, how to transition. I've been working on that, and that should be available through Thinkific, probably the end of January. I'm also working on online fitness classes because, as you know, I'm certified in strength training. So I'll be working on those as well. And what I'm most excited about is a 12-week wellness course/challenge that I will be starting in February. So lots of good stuff coming.
Oh, wow. So you got the 12-week challenge. Look, I'm writing down what I want to do. The 12-week challenge. And, I want to be vegan-ish because I love vegetables. So I don't have a problem with the vegetable part. Every now and then I'd like to have some meat. So it's slow. And so you're going to show us, you're going to walk us through.
Yeah, I'm going to walk you through what you need to know about what it is to be a vegan. We're going to bust all those myths out there about what a vegan is, what a vegan is not. We're going to put you on a schedule, and everyone can kind of go at their own pace. And so there are a lot of different health programs out there, right? So I don't believe in cold turkey anything. I believe you have to start where you are. So where you are may be different from someone who's watching now. They may be in a different place. So for you, it may be, you know what, I think I'm going to start giving up some dairy. For someone else, you know what, I think I'm going to cut back, eliminate the red meat, continue to eat others. And we're going to learn how to, as you take food out of your diet, how to find and incorporate new foods in your diet. Because one of the worst things you can possibly do is eliminate, and not find a healthy alternative. Because if you're not careful, and you may have heard people say, oh my goodness, I stopped eating a vegan because I stopped being a vegan because it became boring. I just couldn't figure out what to eat. but it's just creativity, no different than what we normally do when we do eat meat, right? If we eat the same things, that can be boring too if we eat the same foods, right? Same exact thing. So learning how to incorporate and slowly transition. And it's just like weight loss. If you do it slowly and you take baby steps, the chances of you altering your lifestyle and making a long-term change, that's going to stick versus a quick fix. And there's a lot of quick fixes out there. They work fast, but a year later, where are you? And more importantly, how do you feel?
You usually gain more weight back. And
Yeah.
so physically you feel bad and mentally you feel bad because
Yeah.
I was looking good, but now I gained some weight. So that sounds good. Now I have a question. Do you have a mushroom recipe for masala?
Masala. What is masala?
So it's like a Indian dish.
Okay.
So and I'm asking you that because we went to dinner. Mike and I went to dinner, and he actually got chicken marsala from the Italian part.
Okay.
And they had so many mushrooms in it. I started eating the mushrooms, and I bought some, so I'm gonna try. I should have some recipes for that.
Yeah.
And it was like, so I'm thinking about using mushrooms as a substitute for some of those things because it was so good. So I hope you have a whole lot of mushroom recipes.
Well, one of the things, okay, so I experiment with textures and in flavors. I love to do that. Like that is so much fun. Sometimes it works, sometimes it's a flop, but it's okay because that's how we learn. So I just started, I found this ground beef-like product. It's not beef, not at all, but it simulates the shape and the texture of it. And so I haven't posted the pictures yet. I'm going to post that on my page later on today or tomorrow. But example, I take onions, saute onions with jalapeno peppers. Easily, you can toss a whole bunch of mushrooms in there with that. A whole bunch of mushrooms in there with that. And then I toss this ground beef-like plant-based product in, and I brown it. Once it's brown, then I add a whatever flavor, whatever you like to use as a saute, as a sauce. Okay, so there's a lot of different brands out there, but I have to tell you, y'all got to read the labels.
Read the labels.
Read the labels because some are extremely high in sugar, some are high in sodium. I have always loved the sweet, spicy blend in flavors. So if there's something like an apple jalapeno or brown sugar jalapeno, anything that's, or habanero, anything that's sweet, spicy is a magnet for me. I like that. So the other day I bought this one. It was a Mexican blend. Oh my goodness. Okay, so the meat, all of that stuff is done, right? The meat, the onions, the mushrooms, and then I just pour the saute blends in, bring it to a high heat for just maybe about 5 minutes, turn it down, and I let it simmer on low. You can add a little bit more garlic and whatever your favorite spices are. And then I served it over black rice, excuse me. I served it over black rice, and then it was so good. And then I had, what do I have that day? I had zucchini that I had just sauteed and a bunch of Vidalia onions. My son tasted it. He is 18 years old. He is not plant-based at all. He likes meat, but he said, "Mom, this does not taste like vegan." And I said, "Taylor, that's what I'm trying to get people to understand. This notion that even healthy food is bland and it doesn't have flavor and it's boring. No, I like to eat. I love to eat, but I like to eat good, spicy, flavored food. I want it to sit on my tongue." So I will also be including recipes. There'll be recipes in the course as well to try. Good. Definitely.
So we'll follow you at your website, Tanya F. Cain.
Yes, TanyaFCain.com. I blog there. You can also find me on YouTube. I'm doing more videos now, but also you can find me on all the social networks. I'm on Instagram, and of course Facebook. So I'm out there. You search me, there's a lot going to come up.
Okay, so we're going to look for that challenge. And
Yes.
when's the challenge, in February?
Yeah, it should be in February.
Okay, and then your course on how to become vegan will probably start in January, correct?
Yes, and it's a very thorough course. So it's not a quick fix. You'll be able to go through it at your own pace. It has 17 modules in it. But what I really tried to do was just to break it down for people step by step by step, because what I find is, and not just with transitioning to a plant-based lifestyle, but with any type of change, people don't necessarily go into it being informed.
Right.
We go into things without having enough research, enough support, and even like with vegan, you know, what's your health like already? What is your doctor saying? Yeah. What is your doctor saying? You know, when was the last time you had a blood test? What is your blood test showing? Because when you eat plant-based, most nutrients you can get from plant-based foods, but B12, that's a tough one to get. You really can't get that from plants. So before you even begin, it's good to have a starting point. So we have a conversation about that as well. So it's more than just plucking healthy food off the shelf and dancing through the produce aisle, picking up your cabbage and all of that stuff. It goes much, much deeper than that. And also, why do you want to do it? Like, what are your goals? Why are you doing it? Are you doing it to lose weight? Are you doing it to lower your blood pressure? Are you doing this because you're diabetic? Like that makes that's very important, the reason why you're going into it. And I'll just say this, I'm 55 years old. I
look 5.
Fabulous. Thank you. But I feel wonderful. I wake up in the morning, I've got a lot of energy, and you know, I attribute it to my lifestyle. It's no secret. It's just a lifestyle. And one of the things that I enjoy about coaching is particularly when someone comes to me and wanting to look at their diet, their exercise, like how they're feeling, and getting to the root of what's really, really laying under there. And watching my clients make these transitions and their aha moments, and recognizing how different they feel as a result of a pivot, a change in their diet.
All right, so we're going to look for that comprehensive program next month. So I just want to, there's a few people watching, and I want to invite them to ask questions if they have any. Okay. And while we're waiting for those questions, I always ask my guests what their favorite quote is. And so give me your favorite quote.
The quote that I've loved and I've had for most of my life is, "Don't float through life, make waves."
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's that is me. That is me. So we get one go around, and we should really live that. We should live that, and we should be conscious, and we should be mindful, and we should thrive and make those waves, have some fun, try something different. So that really has been my motto.
Okay, so I have a question from Chris. General Chris Urge. Is he related to you, Urgent? Okay. He said, yes, what is your favorite go-to vegan meal?
My favorite go-to vegan meal, I would have to say, is my beans, because they're super easy. Whether it be, I'll say black beans is my favorite. And I just like to take my peppers, my jalapenos, my onions, and throw them in the crock pot, seasoning it down with some garlic and pepper, and toss my beans in. And instead of cooking it in water, I cook them in a vegetable broth, which gives it more flavor. And just let them cook really slow. I toss them in, serve them over some brown rice, black rice, spaghetti squash, and then have my favorite vegetable, I'd say it would be the kale and the collard blend. And then maybe a side of a sweet potato. But yeah, those are my favorite. They require the least amount of work and they're delicious.
What does black rice taste like?
Oh, it has a little nutty aftertaste to it. And it depends on how you cook it. As with all rice, we want to rinse it really well. Depending on what I'm cooking with it, I will cook it in a low sodium vegetable broth. If I'm already using the vegetable broth in something else that I'm adding to the meal, I don't add the sodium. I don't add the vegetable broth because I'm always looking at the sodium. I'm looking at the sugar and the saturated fat in that. But it's wonderful. Also, it's pretty. I mean, I know,
Gives you color on the
I
plate.
like to eat beautiful foods. I like to see a beautiful, colorful, vibrant plate. So my plates are very colorful and my family laugh at me because we sit down and I'm like, oh my God, this plate is beautiful. And I'm all animated and they're looking at me and I'm like, okay, y'all eat y'all meat. Y'all go on and do your thing. But yeah, I highly recommend you try the black rice. And I do try to buy organic rice also.
Okay. I have a question that from DJM says, what are your suggestions for picky eaters?
Experiment, 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 experiment. I'll give you a quick example. First of all, when I was younger, I didn't even know it. When I was, say, 25, I didn't know avocados existed, right? Didn't know they existed. Didn't know. Nobody in my family ate them. Then I started, somehow they got on my radar. And I remember looking at them saying, that's ugly. I don't know about that. It was ugly on the outside. The green was pretty, but it did not say, it just didn't look appetizing. And I didn't think I would like them. The first time I ate an avocado, it was, what did I have it with? I don't remember what I had it with, but I just remember thinking, this baby has no flavor. This is for me, and setting it on the shelf. So then as I began to transition to eating clean and a healthier lifestyle and vegan, I learned the benefits of avocados in that it's a healthy fat. We do need fat in our diet, but we need a healthy fat. So once I learned, I pushed myself through it. So whoever that is, I pushed myself through it. And now I can't imagine life without avocados. Okay. So sometimes it's not the food itself. Sometimes it's the flavor. Sometimes it's what you're combining it with. So try it differently. Try it cooked differently. Maybe you don't like something that's broiled. Maybe you can bake it. Maybe you can saute it stovetop. Add it with something that you really love, and that will alter the flavor or enhance it.
So I have 2 comments and another question.
Okay.
General Chris says, yummy, after you gave the recipe. Chiwanda says, you made me want to try my beans without meat.
Yeah, you can do it.
And Shani asks, do you have any beginners yoga videos? Now she heard you say yoga.
Yeah.
You were actually talking, so you do yoga as well.
Before I moved here, I was taking yoga. I was doing classes once a week in New Jersey. And I came here and I'd been away from it for a while and fell in love with it because it was the stark contrast of me throwing up weights in the gym. Right? So lifting, doing my cardio, and yoga was the opposite. It was a great way to just stretch those muscles out, and be in a more relaxed place. I'm exercising, but be in a relaxed place. So COVID, thank you very much. That's something else I got done. I am a certified yoga instructor now.
Okay.
So I am planning on doing some beginner yoga videos.
Okay, so that'll be good for her.
Yeah, so I've been practicing off camera because I like to have fun. So, you know, when I'm practicing off camera at home,
Mhm.
I'm laughing at myself like, okay, Tanya, come on, you got to get this together. But there's a ton of videos on YouTube. I will eventually have some on my channel.
Okay.
It's a great way to tone your muscles, get that body aligned. I highly recommend you give it a shot. I don't have anything out there yet, but I will.
Okay. She says she can't wait.
Thank you. Thanks. I
So
appreciate it.
when did you get certified? When did you get your
So,
certification?
okay, so when COVID hit in March, and well, we know it hit before, but when everything shut down, I thought, okay, it's time to shift gears. It was my first semester as an adjunct instructor at a college here, technical college here. So I immediately switched from face to face to in online. So what can I do? What can I do? What have I wanted to do? It was something that I wanted to do anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And the agency that I'm certified with, they have this big conference in Atlantic City every year. And I was like, oh, I'm going to go to Jersey. Well, COVID, no, you're not going to Jersey. You're going to stay right there in Georgia. So I found out, I just started looking online and I found out that they were doing online search. So I registered. I started practicing. I already had the materials, the book I've been
Mm-hmm.
reading, and a lot of, not all of it, but a lot of the material I was familiar with anyway from my strength training certification and just from my years of fitness. So off I went. Nothing beats a failure but a try. So
Right.
yeah, so I did it.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
And so before we close, I always ask all of my interviewees,
Mhm.
whose shoulders do you stand on? On whose shoulders do you stand? We know that we didn't get here by ourselves.
Um, I thought about that, and I think the person's shoulder I stand on, her picture is in the mirror in my closet. I have a tall mirror, and it's my grandmother. It's Sarah Deal. Okay, so my grandmother was a mother of, she had 13 children.
Mm,
13 children. When they moved to New Jersey, they lived in Weymouth, where I grew up. No electricity, no running water. They didn't have anything. And they were literally dirt poor. But grandma, mama, we call her,
mm-hmm.
she raised her family and just was the epitome of strength. Was the epitome of strength. She still provided for her family, took care of her grandkids, and she reminds me that I'm strong and where I come from. So for me,
Mm-hmm.
it's definitely Mama's shoulder. Mama Deal, Sarah Deal, that's whose shoulders I stand on. That's a great question.
I know she's proud because we're all excited for the things that you're doing and the things that you're going to do. And keep us posted. Again, you can follow Tanya at her website, on her website, tanyafcain.com, and you'll be posting everything that we need to know
Oh,
about the challenge and everything. And they can follow you on social media as well.
yes, you can follow me on social media. I have a group, Tanya Cain Journey to Wellness, on Facebook. You can follow me there. I'm on Instagram and I also started my YouTube channel. So you see my YouTube channel, new videos, like it, share, follow. Lots of good information coming, lots of good stuff coming in 2021.
We're excited for you. Let
Thank
me
you.
just check and make sure. Okay, we have no more questions, but lots of likes. And so I thank you so much for your time. It's been great interviewing you, actually just having this conversation with you at the end of the year. If anybody has a resolution to eat better and have more in the next year, then we absolutely should follow what you're doing.
Thank you.
And it was a pleasure interviewing you.
It was a pleasure to be here. Thank you so much for interviewing me. I love it.
Thank you. I'm so glad that you can make it. Now, everyone, I want to put my glasses on so that I can actually stop the things that I need to stop the stream. But thank you all for joining Tanya and I.
Thank you.
And they will be in touch, I assume, by following. And don't forget Namaste Thursday at 7:30.